10 cars so dangerous, even the bravest drivers hesitated to press the pedal. 1. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. It looked like it had been built in a wind tunnel, because it had. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was engineered to break records, not laws. But it did both. With its 23-inch nose cone, massive rear wing, and 440 Magnum engine, it reached a blistering 200 miles per hour on the track. On highways, though, it was terrifying. The long nose made visibility nearly impossible. The rear downforce, designed for NASCAR, turned lane changes into fights with physics. And that massive wing? Deadly in a crosswind. Drivers adored it, until it reminded them who was in charge. They didn't call it the Widowmaker for nothing. Only 503 were ever built. That's how close Dodge came to outlawing aerodynamics itself. 2. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Hemi Cuda wasn't just a car, it was an ego test. 425 advertised horsepower, but insiders knew it was closer to 470. A stiff clutch, a short wheelbase, and a rear end that loved to snap free. At full throttle, it was untouchable. At half throttle, it was unpredictable. Many drivers learned that lesson the hard way. On back roads across America, Hemis met trees more often than traffic lights. No electronic aids, no forgiveness. Just man, machine, and fate, all meeting at redline. 3. 1966 Shelby Cobra 427. When Carroll Shelby built the Cobra 427, he didn't think of safety. He thought of domination. A lightweight British chassis, a massive Ford V8, 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, in the mid-60s. It didn't corner. It didn't compromise. It just attacked. So violent was its power that Shelby himself warned new owners not to floor it below 60 miles per hour, or risk spinning instantly. And yet every man who drove it said the same thing. It scared me, but I'd do it again. The Cobra was the American dream with the heart of a predator. 4. 1971 Ford Torino Cobra, 429 Super Cobra Jet. It wasn't as famous as the Mustang, but the 1971 Torino Cobra was wilder. Its 429 Super Cobra Jet V8 made over 370 horsepower and torque, strong enough to twist the frame. It was faster than most muscle cars of its era and far harder to handle. The steering was vague, the suspension soft. At high speeds, it floated more than it drove. Few drivers realized they were piloting a 4,000-pound missile until it was too late. Many crashed before they could even shift into third, a legend that burned bright and faded quickly. 5. 1969 AMC AMX. The 1969 AMC AMX was the muscle car nobody expected to be dangerous, small, agile, and underestimated. But with the 390 V8 under the hood, it packed serious heat. The problem? It was too short. Its wheelbase was barely over 97 inches, meaning it snapped oversteer faster than you could blink. On tight turns, it spun out without warning. For a brand fighting to stand out, AMC built something wild and unpredictable, and it almost worked. Drivers loved it. Insurance companies didn't. They called it the compact car with a death wish. 6. 1978 Chevrolet Corvette L82. By 1978, muscle was dying, but the Corvette still had bite. The L82 engine made it deceptively quick, and its sleek new body made everyone want one. But under pressure, it was a handful. Power steering that failed under load, rear suspension that snapped loose over bumps, and a hood so long you couldn't see what was about to hit you. The Corvette was America's sports car, sure, but in the late 70s, it was also a widowmaker in disguise, a car that promised grace and delivered chaos. 7. 1987 Buick GNX. No roar, no rumble. Just a whisper. The 1987 Buick GNX was quiet until it wasn't. A turbocharged 3.8-liter V6 that produced over 300 real-world horsepower. But when that turbo spooled, it hit like lightning. Drivers weren't ready for the delay, the sudden torque, the rear wheels breaking free, 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, faster than Ferraris of the time. It was dangerous because it lied to you. It felt calm, right until it wasn't. Black paint, no badges, pure menace. The GNX didn't need to shout. It just needed to kill softly. 8. 2004 Pontiac GTO. The 2004 GTO tried to revive the legend, and it did, with consequences. A 5.7-liter LS1 V8 producing 350 horsepower gave it serious muscle, but its soft suspension and poor braking made it a high-speed liability. It could reach 160 miles per hour, but try stopping it. Drivers complained of brake fade so bad it felt like skating on oil, a modern muscle car built with old-school recklessness. The 2004 GTO proved that danger never really goes out of style. 9. 2013 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500, 662 horsepower, manual transmission, rear-wheel drive. The 2013 Shelby GT 500 wasn't a car. It was a fight for control. It could hit 202 miles per hour, but without stability control engaged, it was terrifying. One wrong move on a cold morning, and the tires would spin through 3 gears. It didn't just demand skill, it demanded obedience. Even professional drivers called it unpredictable. But to the brave, it was intoxicating. It was everything Shelby stood for. Power first, fear second. 10. 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. The final chapter, and maybe the most terrifying of all, the 2018 Dodge Demon. 840 horsepower, drag tires, and a soul forged in gasoline. It could pop a wheelie right off the line, the first street car ever to do it. So fast it was banned from official drag events for lacking safety gear. No roll cage, no helmet, just you and 6.2 liters of supercharged chaos. The Demon was proof that America never truly learned to behave. From the 1960s to today, these machines tell a single story. The story of power without restraint. They were born in garages, in boardrooms, in rebellion. And each one, in its own way, crossed a line. They made heroes. They made legends. And sometimes, they made headlines for the wrong reasons. Because American muscle has never been about perfection. It's about passion. The kind that ignores danger for the sake of feeling alive. Maybe that's why we still love them. They remind us that fear isn't the end. It's the beginning, the sound of a big block starting, the smell of burnt rubber, the pulse that races faster than the tachometer. That's not just power, that's American horsepower. If this ride took you back, hit like, subscribe to American Horsepower, and tell us which car still haunts your dreams, because these cars may be dangerous, but danger is what makes them unforgettable.